Hello, good evening, friends. Okay, as I've chosen the topic of just interactive session would be better, but if somebody is running live, then I can definitely think of interacting. Otherwise, I can just do this as a study stream. I'll be studying from this end. If somebody is having any questions or something, then they can join this live, interact here, and make this good. Community moderation settings are there. Automatic chat translation is there. Auto to top messages are all messages are allowed. So what is this community? I've switched on to live. If there is somebody, please let me know. I'm starting my live. As far as history is considered, I was discussing till Buddhism and Jainism we have covered the chapters. Now the concept is Magadha Empire. The Magadha Empire, situated in the present day southern Bihar, emerged as a dominant Mahajanapada around 6th century BCE, with its capitals at Rajagriha and later Pataliputra. It played a very crucial role in shaping early Indian political history. The empire laid foundation for powerful dynasties such as Nandas, Mauryas, Guptas, and contributed significantly to the unification of Indian subcontinent. Rise of Mahajanapadas, as according to later Vedic period, that is having the evidence from 900 to 600 BCE, there was a shift from Jana, clan based, to Janapada, territory based polity. Janapadas fought over resources. Larger ones became Mahajanapadas, monarchies or republic. Monarchy versus republic. Monarchies are the centralized hereditary rule supported by Parishad and Sabha. The priest legitimates the rule through the Vedic rituals here. Republics are Ghana Sanghas, the collective decisions or by clan heads. No priestly dominance was seen. They had a central standing armies here. The reasons for rise of large states, that is, why this Magadha Empire was so prominent in history, because of few reasons. They are listed as follows. Fertile land. The Ganga basin provided rich alluvial soil, ensuring the abundant agricultural production to support a large population and army over this place. Magadha Empire had rich iron resources, which was easy access to iron ore in the nearby hills that boosted the production of few weapons and tools and strengthening the military and economic power over the empire. The strategic location of the Magadha Empire, it was located very near to important trade routes and rivers like Ganga and Son, which was aiding them both trade and movement of troops. The strong rulers of this empire, they have the ambitious and they were capable rulers like Bimbisara and Ajatashatru. They expanded the territory through war and diplomacy. The powerful army and elephants they had, the Magadha had very large and well equipped army and was among the first to use elephants in any warfare, giving it a tactical advantage. Efficient administration of Magadha. It was centralized administration and have the revenue collection. It helped them to maintain and control over the vast Magadha empire. How did the other rivals or they had seen their decline is the weakening or falling of neighboring kingdoms like Kosala and Avanti. They have paved the way for Magadha's expansion all over. Here in this chapter, we can see 16 Mahajanapadas. Their time period lies back to 600 BCE to 325 BC, which was known as pre-Mauryan era. The sources for this evidence are From Buddhist Anguttara Nikaya text, we can see this period has evidence. Giant texts like Bhagavati Sutra. From Mahabharata and Puranas, we can also see this reference. The meaning of Mahajanapada is Maha means great, Janapada is the foothold of a tribe or any people in the group. The first emergence of territorial states after tribal communities was this 16 Mahajanapadas, where we can see the list of them. Magadha is having the capital at Rajagriha, where there started the Haryanka dynasty. The future powerhouse were started from Ganga and Son river. Next is Anga. The maritime trade with Suvarna Bhumi, that is Southeast Asia, was like we can see it is Champa through Champa river. Next is Vaishali, Vajji kingdom. They have the confederacy of Lichavis and etc. through Gandak river. Malla, that is from Pava, Buddhist last meal, that is Pava and Mahaparinirvana, Kushanara, through the Ganda and Rapti river. Kashi at Varanasi, integrated into Kosala by Kansa, famous religious and trade centers on the Ganga river. Next is Gandhara, that is Takshashila, trade plus education center, which was conquered by Darius I of Persia in Indus and Kabul river. Next is Koshala, the king Prasanajita, the Buddha's contemporary, which included the Lumbini, Buddha's birthplace, and Sarayu river. Next is Asaka, which is having Potale as its place. Only Mahajanapadas south of Vindhyas involved in trade on Godavari river. Next is Chedi, that is Sukti Mati, King Shishupala, ancient kingdom mentioned in Mahabharata, which was on the Kane river. Next is Vasta, that is Kaushimbi, King Udayan, famous for cotton textiles and monarchy on the Yamuna river. Next is Kuru, which is Indraprastha, that is epicenter of Mahabharata on the Yamuna river. Next is Panchala. Panchala is Achitra north, Kampilya south, Kanuj included on the Ganga and Ram Ganga rivers. Next kingdom is Matsya, that is Viratanagara, which King Virata Mahabharata, which was located on Saraswati and Chambal river. Next one is Surasena, Mathura, the king Avantipura, Buddhist disciple, Krishna's land on the Yamuna river. Avanti, whose capital was Ujjain or Mahishmati, King Pradyota, where it was called hub of Buddhism, which was on Shipra river. Next is Kamboj, which is northwest frontier, which was famous for horses, cavalry. Here, the Kabul Kuram river mountains were located. When we talk about Magadha Empire, the Magadha Empire was one of the most influential and powerful kingdoms of ancient India. It played a pivotal role in shaping Indian history, particularly during early and middle stages of Indian civilization. The key source of this particular information is from Vedic texts, that is, Upanishads and Brahmanas. Buddhist texts like Tripitaka, Jataka tales, and Digha Nikaya. Jain texts like Bhagavati Sutra and Kalpa Sutra. Some northern black polished ware potteries were also evidence of this empire. When we start with the Magadha Empire, we can see major dynasties and their rulers. When it comes to Haryana dynasty, the Haryanka dynasty, then their rulers are Bimbisara, Ajatasattu, and Udayan. When it comes to Shishunaga dynasty, it is held by rulers Shishunaga, Kalashoka. Next, Nanda dynasty. Somebody is saying Abdul Ramat. Hello. Yes, hello. Nanda dynasty, Mahapadmananda and Dhanananda, and later on it was carried by, the rulers were Chandragupta Maurya and the Mauryan Empire was established. So, meanwhile, when we talk about Haryanka dynasty, the capital was Rajagriha. The king Bimbisara, who ruled from, who is saying this? Hello, yeah, hello. I'm reading. If there is anything, let me know. Bimbisara, first regular army, which was conquered Anga, that is Champa. He was married to Koshala princess Kashi as dowry was given to him. that is Lichavi Princess Vaishali, Madra Princess Punjab. He sent a physician Jivika to Avanti, later killed by son Ajatashatru. He established the diplomatic and military dominance among 16 Mahajanapadas. He is also said to have extended patronage to Jainism. The Jain text refers to him as Shravaka, that is, lay follower of Mahavira. Next is Ajatashatru. After this Bimbisara, there is Ajatashatru, who ruled from 492 BCE to 460 BCE. He fortified Rajagriha and invented Mahashilakantaka, that is catapult, and Rathamusala, that is chariot mace. He defeated Koshala, Vaishali, the maternal grandfather of Chetaka and Malas. He waged a long war against the Vajji Lichavi and Confederacy and finally conquered it. He was contemporary of Gautam Buddha and Mahavira. The Buddha's parinirvana and first Buddhist council 483 BCE occurred during his reign. Udayan was the last emperor here, ruled from 460 to 444 BCE. He founded Patliputra at Ganga's own confluence and continued the imperialist policy of his predecessors and tried to strengthen the Magadha Empire. Next is Shishunaga dynasty. Shishunaga dynasty had ruling period of 413 to 345 BCE. Here we can see Shishunaga was the first one to rule the dynasty. He defeated Avanti and made Magadha's provinces capital, briefly moved to Vaishali. Rule strengthened the foundation led by Bimbisara and Ajatashatru. Next ruler of the Shishunaga dynasty is Kala Ashoka, who is known as Kakavarma. He held the second Buddhist council at Vaishali. He shifted capital back from Vaishali to Pataliputra. His death paved the way for rise of Nanda dynasty. Dynasty ended by Mahapadmananda. Third dynasty in this Magadha Empire is Nanda dynasty. Nanda dynasty ruling period from 345 to 321 BCE. The ruler Mahapadmananda, he is also known as Ugrasena, Ekaratha, Sarvakshatrantaka, born to Shudra mother, making him first non-Kshatriya ruler of Magadha. He annexed Kalinga, took Jina idol and Kosala, standardized the weights, that is Nando Pakramani, the first great empire builder, lineage that is debated as non-Kshatriya in Brahmanical text. The Puranas describe him as the destroyer of all Kshatriyas, Sarva Kshatrantaka. Then he laid the foundation for efficient governance and tax collection systems. Next ruler is after Mahapadmananda, there is Dhanananda. He was the last king. He had huge army called Santramis by Greeks, ruled by Alexander's ruled during the Alexander's invasion, that is a period of 327 to 325 BCE. Despite wealth and power, his rule was unpopular due to oppressive taxation and arrogance. His defeat marked the end of Magadha's Shudra rule and the beginning of Mauryan Empire. Why Mauryan triumphed? Because the geography of this Mauryan Empire was Ganga Basin, where iron mines, that is Mayurbhanj and Singbham, and elephants forest were popular. Capital of this Magadha Empire was Rajgir, surrounded by hills. Pataliputra, it was water fort. Jaladarga, elephants, iron tools used in war, strategic centers in Ganga plains. This is how it started. Magadha dynasty administration, we can see Magadha was ruled by hereditary kings. The king was all powerful, involved in war, diplomatic justice, and revenue. Officials were the high ranking officials are Mahamatras. Amatya is minister in charge of administration and finance. Rajuka is district magistrate. Senapati is commander in chief of army. These are all the officials. Next, Vasakara helped Ajatashatru defeat Vajji Sangha Mahaparinibhana Sutta. Dharma based law, that is harsh caste based punishments, justice by royal agents. Society in the Magadha Empire was having four varnas, the rise of untouchables, that is below Shudras. Kinship terms were Kula, Nataka, Natikulani. Patriarchy and endogamy led to women's subjugation. Son preference continued. Shudras began to gain recognition in economic activities but remained socially subordinated. Buddhism and Jainism, both born in Magadha, and questioned the caste system, rituals, and violence of the Vedic society. Next concept is economy in the Magadha Empire was like there was urbanization in second wave. The towns were fortified, that is Pura. The small towns were Nagarka. The market was known as Nigama. The cities of this empire were economic urbanized cities were Rajagriha, Kaushimbi, Shavasti, Vaishali. The trade centers were Takshila and Ujjaini. The villages are, as per Vinay Pitaka, the villages, the regular was headed by Grama Bojikan or Gramakas. The craft villagers, example, they were salt makers, Lonakara Grama. The border villages are Aramika Grama. Trade and transport during the Magadha Empire was the routes Uttarapata, it is northwest India. Here, Tamralipti was a trade center. Next, Dakshinapata, it is Pataliputra, where Godavari, it was on Godavari. The sea trade with Southeast Asia, Myanmar, Iran, Mesopotamia. Officers of this place, trade and transport were Rajabhatas, Khamikas, Shaukikas. The exports of this empire were they were using textiles, sandalwood. The imports of this empire here where they were importing gold, lapis lazuli, silver, jade. Punch marked coins of 6th century BCE, earliest Indian coins, have the reference to the spirit. The taxes in this empire was as 1/6 of the produce they collected by Balishadakas, no intermediaries. Labor tax, artisans worked 1 day per month. Villages, Brahmadiyas to Brahmanas and Kshatriyas to merchant. Agriculture in this period was iron flow enabled rich barley, rice, barley, millet, sugarcane cultivation. Dasas and karmakaras, that is laborers, krishkas, small farmers, iron tools found at Kaushimbi are the evidence. Hereditary led by headman, merchant streets are Vesa. There was Iranian invention in 6th century BCE during the rule of this empire. The Iranian or Persian invasion of India, particularly during 6th century BCE, marked a significant chapter in Indian history. The Persian Empire, under rulers such as Cyrus and Darius I, extended its influence to the northwestern Indian subcontinent, impacting the political, cultural, economic landscape of India. The details about Cyrus and Darius I in Punjab 516 BCE is written in Behustan inscription. Persian rule lasted till Alexander. Cyrus was the king of this Iranian invasion where 550 he ruled from 550 to 530 BCE. 558 to 530 BCE, first Achaemenid ruler to invade Indian borderlands. He annexed Gandhara and parts of Kabul Valley. Darius I were 522 to 486 BCE. He extended Persian control to Indus Valley, that is Sindh and Punjab. Included this region as 20th satrapy, that is province of Achaemenid Empire. Tribute from India was gold, dust, etc. was richest among all the satrapies as per Herodotus' text. The impact of this invention was Kharosthi script from Aramaic used in Ashokan edicts, that is, Manshira and Samajgiri have this reference. Indian coinage was influenced from Turn, Karsa, that is Persian Shigla. Persian inspired art, Saranatha Lion, Rampurva Bull. Linguistic link, Vedic gods in Bogasgai inscription, 1380 BC reference. Improved trade routes between India and West Asia. Introduction of Satrapa system, that is provincial governance, was seen. Next concept is Alexander's invention, 327 to 325 BCE. Reasons: Persian defeat, Indian riches, that is Herodotus, Northwest Desirity. Alexander crossed Khyber Pass, fought Porus at Hellespont on the Jhelum River. He was impressed by Porus, re-insisted him, halted at Bias. Then he moved to south along with the Indus River. Alexander then went west through the Gedrosian desert, present-day Balochistan. He left Satrapas governors to control the conquered area. Died returning 323 BC at Babylon. His Indian territories soon fall to Chandragupta Maurya, who overthrew the Satrapas. The effects of Alexander's invasion was he founded cities of Alexandria in Sindh and Baukephala in China, increased the Greek presence and weakened the northwest Indian states. That is, it gave lead to Mauryan rise. He opened three land and one sea route to it opened the three land and one sea route to India. Greek historians like Megasthenes later visited India, enriching our knowledge. It was set the stage for Mauryan Empire. Chandragupta took over his territories. The Magadha ruler was first major political powerful in ancient India, rising under Bimbisara and peaking at the Mauryas. It laid the foundation for future imperial unification of Indian subcontinent. The next coming chapter we are having Mauryan Empire. As we were discussing, Mauryas came to power. Chandragupta Maurya after Alexander's invention. The Mauryan Empire was the first and largest pan-Indian empire in ancient history, established by Chandragupta Maurya in 322 BCE after overthrowing the Nanda dynasty. It marked the beginning of highly centralized and organized administrative system in India. Sources of Mauryan Empire were, as per archaeological studies, the punch-marked coins and North Black Polished Wave, that is NBPV. Wooden Palace of Chandragupta Maurya and Pataliputra is such evidence. Some Ashokan inscriptions and edicts have this reference, and also Junagarh inscription of Rudravarman I is the major archaeological sources. Literary sources of Mauryan Empire were Indica by Megasthenes, Arthashastra by Kautilya, Vishakadatta's Mudra Rakshasa, Dharmashastra's text Puranas, Buddhist text Jataka stories, Deepavamsha, Mahavamsha, and Divyavadam. Chandragupta Maurya. When we talk about Chandragupta Maurya, we need to know some points. Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya overthrew Nandas in 321 BC with the help of Chanakya, who is known as Kautilya, mentioned as Sandocritus by Greeks. He Chandragupta Maurya defeated Satrapas, the governors left by Alexander the Great in northwest India. Chanakya, that is Kautilya or Vishnugupta, is not mentioned in contemporary Jain Buddhist text but praised in oral editions. The author of Arthashastra described in Mudra Rakshasa as mastermind of Mauryan rise. As per treaty, Chandragupta got eastern Afghanistan, Baluchistan, and areas west of Indus, gave 500 elephants to Seleucus. Towards the end of he established a strong and centralized bureaucratic administration with Patliputra as the capital of Mauryan Empire. Towards the end of his life, he embraced Jainism, abdicated throne, and went to Shravanabedagola in Karnataka, where he fasted to death, that is Sallekana. He practiced Sallekana. Chandragupta Maurya was succeeded by his son Bimbisara and later Ashoka the Great. Megas in his court of this Chandragupta Maurya or for the Mauryan Empire, we can see Megasthenes, a Greek ambassador of Seleucus to Chandragupta's court. He stayed at Pataliputra. He wrote Indica, described a physical, administration, and cultural landscape. He stated no famine ever occurred. Seven castes existed: artisans, farmers, warriors, philosophers, herders, magistrates, council members were the seven castes. He praised Chandragupta's rule and noted the absence of slavery in Indian society. He gave a detailed description of Pataliputra's layout, administration, and fortification. The administration of Chandragupta was, as per Indica and Arthashastra, it highlighted centralized governance. 24 departments were there. Provinces were ruled by royal king, subdivided into districts and villages. The army was larger than Nanda's. Six boats, 30 officers in total managed the infantry, cavalry, elephantry, chariots, navy, transport. Then there was Gudak Purushas, detectives, and Sansans, stationary, Sancharis, they were wandering. The taxation in Mauryan rule was state controlled new lands cultivated with Shudra laborers. The peasants had to pay one fourth to one sixth of the produce. The tolls at the town gates, irrigation system was seen, Setu Bandhu. Then monopolies were mining, liquor making, weapon manufacturing. The Samastha system regulated trade and prices. In Junagadh inscription, by Rudradaman I, dating back to 130 to 150 CE, it was carved during Shaka king Rudradaman rule, mentions Pushyagupta, governor under Chandragupta, Sudarshana Lake construction during Chandragupta, completed under Ashoka, repaired in 150 CE. The next famous ruler after Chandragupta Maurya was Bimbisara, who ruled from 297 to 272 BC, continued diplomacy with West Asia. Greek sources refer him as Amitrochak, the slayer of foes, counseled by Chanakya ministers. He was, according to Jain text, his mother was a woman named Durdhara. He believed to have expanded the empire further south up to Karnataka, except Kalinga, later conquered by Ashoka. He continued the centralized administration systems established by Chandragupta and Chanakya. He supported the Ajivika sect, though also tolerant towards Buddhism and Jainism. He died in 272 BC, succeeded by Ashoka, not chosen heir. Ashoka was a king who took throne in 268 BC, 4 years after Bindusara's death, indicating succession conflict. Converted to Buddhism after Kalinga War, called Chakravartin, unified realm via one dharma, language, prakriti, script, Brahmi. Fought and won the Kalinga War in 261 BCE, resulting in massive bloodshed. Deeply moved by vast destruction, he renounced violence and embraced Buddhism. India's first hospital and herbal garden was built by Ashoka. Ashok Kara monastery located in Patliputra is said to be built by Ashoka. He built rest houses, hospitals, roads, and planted shade trees focusing on public warfare. His policies were recorded in major rock edicts, minor rock edicts, and pillar edicts. Ashoka's inscriptions, first ruler to issue inscription directly to the public, found on highways. Languages were Prakruti, Greek, Aramaic. They were used with the Brahmi, Kharoshti being the main scripts. Ashoka's names and sources. Piyadasi, Deepavamsha in Kandahar inscription. Ashoka Maurya as per Junagar inscription. Devanampriya Ashoka, Vardhana, Raja Ashoka as per Musky. Devanampriya Udgolam, Piyadasi Raja as per Parvara. Rock edicts and the themes. Major rock edict one. It says about ban on animal sacrifice. Mentions Cholas, Pandyas, Satyaputra, Kerala Putras. Second rock edict says about hospitals for humans and animals. Mentions the southern kingdoms. Third, tours every 5 years by Yuktas and Pradeshikas. Fifth, introduced the Dhamma Mahamatras, Rajukas, Pradeshikas, and Yuktas appointed in the year of his reign. Sixth, talks about kings wants constant update on public warfare along with the Pati Vedakas, that is reporters, and police and officials or guards. Seven and what is this? 7 and 9, 12 respect for all the sects. 13 Kalinga War introduced Dharma in a place of war. Kalinga Edict 1 impartiality to officers, inspection for every years 5 years. Musky Edict names Ashoka as Deva Nam PM. Mauryan Empire's pillar edicts or seven major pillar edicts were found at Meerut, Delhi Topra, Allahabad, Lauria Ariraj, Lauria Nandagar, and Rampurva. Four minor pillars Sanchi, Sarnath, Allahabad, Nigali Sagar. Two tri-pillars, that is Lumbini or Ramundai. Regional policy, religious policies and missionaries. This he was tolerant. Mauryan Empire was tolerant. Donated to Ajivikas, Barbar caves. Says this. Has evidence. Next is Dharma Mahamatras, which was pilgrimage. They held the third Buddhist council 250 BC at Patliputra and sent missionaries across Asia. Then, Brahmi inscriptions in Sri Lanka confirm the cultural influence. Ashoka replaced Gosha war conquest with Gosha conquest through dharma, emphasizing peace and moral rule over violence. The administration, especially Ashoka, paternal king, he promoted ethics, banned slaughter in capital. The officers in this rule were Justice Rajukas, Dhamma promotion, Dhamma Mahamatras, royal messengers were Pativedakas, and Pulisani were gathered public opinion. Duties were obey parents, respect Brahmins and monks, and be kind to slaves. Didn't mention the Nirvana. The rotation of officers, Tosali, Ujjain, and Takshila. Rumindai pillar where Ashoka visited Buddha's birthplace, Lumbini. Died in 231 BC, last Mauryan king, Brihadutta killed by Pushamitra Shunga. The structure of Mauryan administration, king with ministers, mantrin, priests were known Purohitas and Mahamatras. Saptanga Teri by Kautilya, that is Swamin, Amatya, Janapada, Durga, Sena, Kosha, Mitra. Spies used disguises as spongy system. Salaries higher officials 48,000 panas, low officials 10 to 60 panas. 1 pana is 3/4 of tola. Provinces in this Mauryan Empire were Uttarapata was Takshila, Avanti is Ujjaini, Prachi is Patliputra, Kalinga Toshali, Dakshinapata is Suvarnagiri. District and village admin. Sthanika is district. Gopas is 5 to 10 villages. Gramin is village head. Nagaraka is urban head. Pataliputra, the capital city, was managed by six communities, each consisting of five members. These communities oversaw key urban functions as sanitation, trade and commerce, public utilities, and then there was transport, registration of birth and deaths, religions, and foreigner markets. Judicial system is dharmasya, civil marriage, inheritance, etc. Three judges for three amatyas were there. Next is Kantaka Shodhana is criminal or police. Three judges per three amatyas were appointed. Severe punishments were used for spies. The economy in this Mauryan Empire was commercial craft economy regulated by Adhyakshas, revenue, land tax, bhaga, tolls, customs, irrigation fees, Sita land, forest, salt mines were seen. The taxation system was Samharta, that is Collector General, Sannidhata, storehouse keeper, taxes collected in kind used for famine relief. Punch marked silver coins, that is Pana or Karshpana, no issuing authority was mentioned. Agriculture, here the main revenue system source employed the Dasha Karmakaras, that is laborers or slaves. Crops were sugarcane, cotton, tree wool, sugarcane was used for honey reed and cotton was tree wool. Ashoka used Kalinga war captives as farm laborers. Here, Arthashastra, in Arthashastra, child of slave woman by master is free. Crafts, cotton, Kashi, Vanga, Kumarappa, Madurai, silk, jewelry, metalworks, woodwork, ivory were famous. Crafts here are hereditary and organized into srenis, that is guilds. Leaders were head was Pamuka, elder was Jeta, dispute settled by Mahasheti. Trade here was local, intervillage, intercity, cross kingdom, and rivers and roads used. Caravans led by Mahasarthwaha, frauds monitored. Overseas trade was like small ships towards Lanka, Burma, Malayan archipelago. Jataka tales have said that they had even long voyages. Ports like Tamralipti towards east, Baruch Supara towards west, Greek records exports to Egypt into indigo, ivory, pearls, woods. Art and culture, stone masonry was expanded. Ashoka's dowry elephant, Odisha, polished Chula stone, Sanchi Stupa sculptures, royal life of these people. Literature was Pali, Buddhist and Jain, Arthashastra on music and dance, theatre were famous. Causes of decline of Mauryan Empire. The weak successors after Ashoka failed to maintain central authority and unity. Ashoka's policy on Dhamma weakened the military aggression and expansion. Extensive bureaucracy and army became a burden to state finance. Over centralization led to poor local administration and dissatisfaction. Loss of revenue due to Ashoka's excessive donations to Buddhist monks and Brahmanical resentment was seen, empire into smaller kingdoms, and patronage was continued. Pushamitra Shunga, a Mauryan general, overthrew Mauryan ruler Bruhadatta. The Mauryan Empire unified India under Chandragupta and also reached its zenith under Ashoka. Championed the Dhamma and spread Buddhism. Its administrative and cultural legacy shaped Indian history for generations. Next concept we have is Central Asian conflict, the post-Mauryan era, which saw shift from Magadha to Northwest India. Here we can see the rule of, the invasion of Indo-Greeks, Sakyas, Parthians, and Kushanas that we can see in the next chapter. Thank you. who have watched, who have liked, like who had texted. I mean, who had chats here. Thank you for all who had watched this live. Let's catch up in the next live, or if somebody is having any doubts, let me know in the comment section.